let's do a little BS or no BS with BA, shall we? This is one of our favorite segments. Every single week, we present a statement of fact to Coach BA, and he tells us if that's BS or if that's no BS. Here's the first one. Running back that trick. Oh, sorry. I missed it. Sorry. I got real excited.
That was great.
I got really excited. Running back that Brinks truck up. Okay, like back that ass up. Are we thinking that running backs are about to get paid? Running backs are about to get the Brinks truck. Is that BS or no BS, BA?
That's no BS. I mean, you look at the guys that just got paid, they're going to get paid a whole lot more. And then you got all these young guys who are absolutely tearing it up. But the thing I think that separates most of especially the young guys getting ready to be paid, is that they're great receivers.
The great receivers had got a lot of money. Quarterbacks obviously got a lot of money. Defensive ends got a lot of money. The running backs weren't getting paid. They were saying that the running backs, there was like 30 of them. No big deal. We could put anybody in these jobs. They actually had like a little bit of a holdout, these running backs. If you remember, Saquon at one point, alongside Jonathan Taylor, they said, we're not doing it anymore. We're not going to play. Jonathan Taylor was the only one that really stuck to it, I must say. Okay? Everybody else kind of folded. Jonathan Taylor remained with his hoodie up and at practice saying, nope, I'm worth more. You need to pay me. Now, they inevitably did. I didn't love the way he went about doing it. They need to pay him again so we don't have that situation. But it does feel like the running back is becoming the main feature of offenses that are great again. And that's got to be special as an old-time football coach.
Yeah, you look at Christian McCaffrey, 2 weeks ago, 63% of the offense was Christian McCaffrey. Yeah. And was, 140-some yards rushing, 7 catches. And I think that's what separates those guys, that there's such mismatches in the passing game. Gibbs, Acne, Bijan, all these guys are huge mismatches in the passing game.
So that wasn't always a thing. I remember back whenever they would say, like, well, this running back doesn't have good hands. Nowadays, you kind of have to. Doesn't everybody kind of have to have good hands at this stage of football?
I think the only guy right now who's a great running back that plays first and second down is Derrick Henry. He's never in there on third down. And he can catch. He's great on screens and stuff. So I don't know why he doesn't play more on third down. Because I wouldn't mind checking it down to him and letting him go.
Yeah, of course. That'd be nice to give Derrick Henry the ball. They're 2-6 right now. The thought of back in the day, though, you talked about the first 2 downs. If a running back could run routes like a wide receiver, it was like this guy's feet are absolutely unbelievable. Now it's basically, hey, you're a running back. You got to catch. You got to run a route. You got to be able to block. You're almost like a tight end in a backfield all of a sudden, and you're getting the ball handed to you. I think that's inevitably going to lead to the value going way up. How long does this last for? Is this the new fad? You know, because like them not being valuable was a fad, and then now they're back. Is this sustainable? We think this is how everybody's going to try to build? Are there enough of these guys out there?
I think there are, and they're getting more and more coming from college that are really multidimensional. And the speed factor is unbelievable. When you look at Bijan Robinson with Algiers in the backfield, him splitting out, who's covering him? If it's a linebacker or safety, that ball's coming right now. Here we go, baby. And I go back to the days where I had Christian Okoye and Barry Word, big 260, 250 backs, first and second down. Whoop, third down, here comes Todd McNair. He leads the team in receiving. We play the Chargers, big backs. Oh, Ronnie Harmon comes in. You can't cover this guy.
Yeah.
He's going to beat you every time. And so I see the halfback. You know, it went to H-backs, tight ends, kind of became the mismatch, the Brock Bowers, those type guys. Now it's coming back to the halfbacks. You're seeing a lot more empty sets. Those guys going, especially in a 2-back set. Say they got a big back and a fast guy. I wouldn't be surprised to see Detroit have Montgomery and Gibbs in the game real soon together.
Oh, the tag team, Sonic and Knuckles. Did you hear what they were calling him after week 1 up there in Detroit, B.A.? Did you hear what they were calling him?
No, I did not.
Oh, hey, Foxy, what were you guys calling him? What were you calling him specifically, these guys that are leading your team now?
Don't listen to Pat. I never called him this, but after week 1, when we got our asses kicked by the Packers, instead of Sonic and Knuckles, they were calling him ass and cheeks. And I didn't like it one bit, Coach.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. That's what they were saying up there in Detroit.
Sometimes you got to eat that shit.
Sometimes you do. AJ, you were in the CTE hard head era of running backs and obviously middle linebacker. Wasn't that a convo? Like, hey, this running back can catch good. Now it's like, of course.
Everybody has to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and BA hit on it. It's like the matchups. I mean, Reggie Bush in Detroit, they'd motion him out to 1. You got a linebacker running out there playing like you're trying to get in a weird little corner stance and act like you're comfortable out there covering Reggie Bush, like running routes. So, yeah, it creates matchup issues everywhere. And these guys now, like, they're so fluid in their routes as well. Like, think about it. You can get the matchups you want. You can make it, like, you can kind of manipulate everything right here. Just get the ball in space. It's a low risk play, and the dude can do things like this with the ball, and you just it's basically a toss sweep that Goff throws to him, and he can take it to the house.
Okay, so you said you can manipulate matchups. Can we explain that a little bit more? So obviously you got 2 outside wide receivers. Those are going to eat up the corners. Then you got probably a slot in there. That's going to eat up your nickel. So normally the running back is being guarded by a linebacker, right? Isn't that kind of, unless they go to dime, and then they'll have a safety kind of covering them?
Yeah, and he's got to be able to tackle in the box, because you put that personnel in, they're going to run the ball on you. All right, so if you're trying to match up with DBs, they're going to run it down your throat. That's the beauty of having 2 backs. All right, are you going to treat this as pony and play nickel? Well, that big back's going to pound your ass. All right, and if you try to load the box, here we go with that mismatch. That's the beauty of the chess game of football.
So the running back being able to catch, that's why it was such a big conversation. Like, hey, have to have a linebacker in here because we'll just pound them if they don't. But if they have a linebacker in here, he runs 4.7. We got guy who runs 4.3, 4.4 back here. So that's an automatic mismatch basically in every style of offense, or is it just certain styles of offense?
I think it's I go back to Marshall Faulk, who I thought probably was the best running the football and running routes. Then we had David Johnson in Arizona, who close to 1,000 and 1,000, real close. Those guys they're very, very hard to find, but I'm seeing more and more of them coming into the league now.
Joseph Adai, I was very lucky to watch him work. He worked on his routes, like he worked on his cuts and everything like that. And I remember people around him talking about how like some people were telling him he was wasting time getting good at that, like as a running back. And he thought, like, if I can get open, Peyton's going to throw me the ball. Like I would like to shake the shit out of these guys and get the ball from Peyton. He did just that. Almost got an MVP in the Super Bowl. I mean, he is. You're talking about being an absolute beast. But that was whenever I was rookie. That's how they were talking. That's 2009. People were talking like, "Hey, what are you doing this for?" Almost. And then now it's like, if you don't do this, you're probably not going to see the field. It's an interesting kind of evolution of the position, I think.
Remember, Le'Veon was doing it at 225 pounds. And he was so
He's
smooth.
a freak, absolute freak.
Yeah, he was awesome to watch play football. I mean, that was
He was real fun to cover. Same thing. They would do that where linebackers have him. Like you have a 2-on-1, like me and you with the other backer, and Le'Veon's back there, and you're sitting there like, man, just please don't motion out in the slot. Just don't send this dude out. Third down, he just pops up his little saunters out there, and I'm sitting there with outside leverage, looking at my inside. I'm like, hey, you better be hard inside, buddy. I am pushing him inside. And he shakes both of us. We're like, all right, cool. This is fun. And you do that for 4 straight quarters.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Who was calling plays? Was that you? I wonder if that was BA calling.
I didn't have the killer bees.
Okay.
Oh, that was
Todd?
Todd
Yeah, it
Haley.
was Todd, yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate Todd Haley seeing the milk check out there, too, with A.J. Hawk rolling out there. Hey, Lev, we're going to do
We
that.
try to keep him in. That's when you try to keep him in. You go hug the A guy. I'm like, I'm blitzing, buddy. You got to stay in, right? He would never even honor us because I never got to go.
Never
So, yeah.
honor us.
He never honored. He's like, I know. I've watched film, bud. You're not coming. I know. You got me.
Look at me, bro. Look at me, dude. That
I'm
means
coming. Here we go.
Never honored us. What a way to describe that.
Yep.
They never took us serious. Every time we showed, they never honored us. I'd have to get out from the O-line, actually, or D-line and go out there. Go ahead, comment.
Was Todd Gurley like that? Like Todd Gurley, the stats always come around where it's like Todd Gurley would be 5th in touchdowns going back to 2015 and now. Like, was he receiving
What, do you
that?
have a knee?
Yeah, it was like degenerative knee disease or something.
He was so
But yes,
good.
he was definitely like that.
Yeah, running back's a fun position. I didn't even think about the way we're kind of talking about it and the way I think you want us to talk about it. It's like the tight end position, obviously having a massive uptick for everybody, like, hey, need one. Running back position is that plus some, because you can just hand them the ball. Not that you can't do that to a tight end, but you can literally just do this one here. Good for the running backs. It was a little dicey there for a little bit.
It was.
It was a little dicey there for a little bit for the position. Congrats to them. Now let's go to the second statement of fact that they've been saying, BA.
Yeah, Bruce, there's a lot of chatter out there that every head coach in the AFC North is on the hot seat. Is that BS or no BS, BA?
I think that's no BS.
Whoa!
I mean, because this was supposed to be the best division in football. They got one team with a winning record of 4-3. All right, that's not good. And they got to play each other. 9-8 might win the division. Whoever wins the division gets to come back next year. I think the other 3 are probably looking for a job.
Okay, now, whenever we put this together, this graphic, I looked at that because you never really think an entire division's head coaching staff is potentially going to be changed in one offseason, because somebody has to win the AFC North, which is kind of what you're saying at 9-8. But you look at some of the legends there. Like Tomlin's been in the Pittsburgh Steelers a long time. Harbaugh's been with the Baltimore Ravens a long time. Now, obviously, Stefanski's been through it.
Two-time coach of the year.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 different eras of the Cleveland Browns. And to your point, 2-time coach of the year. And then Zach Taylor with the Bengals, there's like, at the beginning, this guy's a doofus. Then he goes to the Super Bowl with Cincinnati Bengals. This guy's a king. And now everybody's kind of cooled off. All the fan bases have cooled off basically on all of these coaches. And I don't know how loud and how long that can be, but whenever I saw this graphic and then I saw you were saying no BS, it's like, that would be wild if the entire AFC North got a new facelift.
Yeah.
That would be an insane thing, especially for how traditional and how historic the AFC North is as a whole.
Yeah, and now the stats, especially when it comes to Zach Taylor, to your point, are coming out how, the teams that have scored 38-plus points in NFL history are 260, not the exact number, but 266-1, and the Bengals are 1-3 in those games, and they're the only team to lose multiple games that way. And so I saw a lot of people more so kind of broaching the question, hey, why haven't you changed anything if this hasn't been working?
Here's a stat from Hembo for the defensive side of the things, which we can certainly visit here. Scoring defense of every division. This is points per game that they give up. AFC North, 27.4 points per game they're giving up.
Who put that emoji there?
That was Hembo.
Hembo did that?
Yeah, Hembo said it's a little dookie, brother.
Wow.
And I'll tell you what, you never want to be described as dookie. That's about as shitty as it can get. And when you look at that, you think about the AFC North, it's a defensive-led division, which is why this Cleveland's defense, Pittsburgh's defense, Baltimore's defense. The only one that we don't think about defense immediately is Cincinnati Bengals, and that's because they paid so much money to the offense, but that's supposed to be a defensive-heavy grind and pound type division, and then the stats are coming out like, nope, not like that at all. And when expectations are this, and you come in like this, that's whenever, potential jobs. But all these franchises are super slow moving whenever it comes to these types of decisions.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you, BA, is like when you got guys like Tomlin and Harbaugh who have been there for so long and are Hall of Fame coaches, if there is like a big facelift in the AFC North, do you think the talent pool in the NFL, like, will they be able to just replace those guys with ease? Because that's what we're talking about in college right now, is like all these guys are getting fired, and it's like, well, are we going to be able to find good enough?
Who are the I don't even want to get into that right now, but who are filling all these college jobs?
That's what I mean. Like, the talent pool is just not there. Like, are you
I think,
is the NFL always going to find that next guy, though?
I don't think so. I think each one of these teams historically has been very, very consistent in what they do. And who is behind door number 2? That's your question. And if I got a guy that I really like to behind door number 2, I'm going to make a move. But if it's just a bunch of guys, no, I'm going to keep my guy. He knows what he's doing. He just had a bad year, But for this division, especially if they lose in the first round of the playoffs, for this division to get wiped out that fast, that's not good.
Yeah, the who is going to be your coach next combo.
Terrible
It seemingly
game.
comes after the fight.
You got to have somebody. You got to have. I would imagine you only do it if you have like 1 or 2 people in mind that you really want to go after, that you think you can get, right?
We're doing BS or no BS with BA right now, so I don't want to get off topic, but like all these college jobs, who are they hiring? Who's everybody hiring? Yeah. Everybody has money. Okay? Everybody has good NIL. Everybody has good opportunity. And you could add Virginia Tech into this thing. There's a lot of good opportunities out. Who's going to get hired for all these jobs?
Well, is it just going to be like musical chairs and like the guys who have gotten fired are just going to
James Franklin heading to Florida?
Yeah, exactly. Brian Kelly's back at Penn State.
He's a northern guy.
Yeah. I would rather do like what Oregon with Dan Lanning. Like, hey, try to find an up and coming coordinator who is, well, it's hard to know.
So for the Steelers, if the Steelers were to move on from Coach Tomlin, which, by the way, very unlikely, unless Coach Tomlin wants to. That is just, and we say slow moving. They would describe it as patience, and they judge other organizations that make too quick of decisions. This is professional football. That's run by a bunch of emotional amateurs that make decisions, split decision because they don't know what they're doing. That is how it's described whenever they hang on to coaches. Yeah. That is what people say about their facility. We are patient. We build. We like to, the foundation to be strong in this entire thing. Now, the fans of those teams say, I'm about sick of this particular foundation. I'd like a new house. But within those buildings, they don't feel that way. It's like, hey, this is our house. We're very proud of it. So who would you want for, let's say you were a Pittsburgh Steelers.
Sure.
And they were to move on from Coach Trump. What type of coach would you be looking for? Because they go young defense
Yes.
the last like 3 times.
That was going to be my immediate answer because they've had 3 coaches since I think it was '68 or something like that when Chuck Noll was hired. And obviously, Cowher was a young special teams coach. Tomlin, a young defensive coach. That's where you would immediately look because that's just who we are, and we want our coach to be able to be there for 15 to 20 years. I would not want a retread coach. But yeah, like a young, like someone who. Tomlin is great. He's been a great players coach, but maybe
This is hypothetical. It's
yeah,
hypothetical.
someone who's maybe a little more stern.
So Harbaugh, now let's say the Baltimore Ravens. If they were to move on from Harbaugh, who do you think Butter and the boys over there would be hoping would become the Baltimore Ravens?
Great question.
Bring Minter back.
Yeah.
That was what I was leaning to.
Minter would be a dog,
Yeah.
obviously.
And then like the college conversation, like, do you really look for a coach or do you just look for the quarterback and then tell the OC of the quarterback, hey,
You're the head coach.
You're the head coach, bring him. Like,
Song
that's it.
Politelli, hey, good win by you guys. I can't believe we beat you. I can't believe Virginia Tech got Cal. Song Politelli is going to be a special. He's going to stay at Cal. Ron Rivera's got him figured out.
exactly.
I don't want to get into the algorithm for saying anything negative, but college obviously much crazier. The NFL though, I'll be excited to see who the next ones are that kind of come through here. But an entire division, especially like a historic division, having all of their coaches potentially on the hot seat is crazy, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that would be wild if that did happen. But I guess with all these opportunities out there, like we're going to see some young up and comers that we don't really know much about get a chance. Like get a chance to, hey, you can be the guy.
What about
I guess
Halfley?
We'll see who it is.
Halfley's been a head coach before.
He's pretty
obviously.
happy where he's at, though.
Is he, though?
I think
Would he wanna
likes,
be a
yeah,
head coach?
he's got Micah now. Yeah, like he's doing great.
He's got Micah jumping off sides, pushing his D tackle
Halfley
off
would be
sides, and
nice.
they're not calling it. That would be fun.
Exactly.
That would be a fun thing to have if you had it.
It's perfect.
There was one thing that upset me watching that game.
Okay.
I've never seen the Steelers have to use a silent count at home.
Yeah, Aaron talked about that.
And for the Steeler fans, that's embarrassing.
Those are destiny.
I mean, when,
Do
when
we
you
have
got
the
that many
Debo?
Packer fans, and I still call it Heinz Field, but
It is.
when it's that's unheard of.
Go, Pack, go.
I mean, well, that was a bad sign for me.
Well, their quarterback,
James
quarterback for 20 years. They bought these tickets years and years and years ago. They circled this game on their calendars for a long
On
time.
that note, I think you could circle back to Pittsburgh is a football town, and Pittsburgh has seen a lot of football over there that is not, in their eyes, Super Bowl football, and status quo has kind of just snuck in as like, yep, this is what we're doing. Now, on that note, Steelers did vastly different things this offseason.
Yes.
Paid a lot of money to DK, brought in some free agents, brought in Aaron Rodgers. Like, I think they tried to mix it up, but I think Steelers fans are at the point of like, we're done with being a winning season.
I've talked to a
celebration.
lot of fans who are leaving that game like, what are we even doing wasting our time coming down here to watch this product?
Okay, that's where they're at. That's not
You're
good.
scoring points, though. You're scoring points.
Yeah.
Agreed,
Yeah,
but
but-
then they can't stop anybody on the other. So that's almost even worse. The Yinzers go, oh, now we shit in our left hand and we eat our right. That's great. That is kind of how they feel. But it's a fickle bunch. It's an emotional bunch. Big time football fans. But I think for the last 3-4 years, it's been like the same thing. Like, hey, we're done with
Since Ben.
we're done with the 9 and 8. Okay, because we don't even get a good draft pick.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't even get a good draft pick. So we're about
It's kind of always in purgatory.
that's
'cause
what, and Steelers fans know that they're in purgatory. I think Steelers fans know. Not that that's definitely the case for this year's team. This year's team has enough talent; they can obviously turn it around. Defense can start flying around. They can go win a Super Bowl. But I don't think. I think they're like, it's a late night on Sunday. I got to work on Monday, and we're going to lose. Like, I don't think so, but that is how Yinzers probably think.
And what sucks too, like the draft pick for sure, but like Patriots fans are getting it right now. Like you guys are playing no one, you're playing no one. Like the benefit of finishing last is you get an easier schedule. Like you do a couple years of last place, all of a sudden you're not in prime time playing the Pack. You're not, taking on the Chiefs. They're in the AFC North. That's always going to be hard. But like then you're out of division games. You're not in a gauntlet. So like the benefits of having a couple shitty seasons is, hey, on the horizon, you are going to get an easier schedule, and your team will get better. And then it's just a matter of hitting on the quarterback. But when you're looking at the Colts, the Seahawks, a few of these teams, it's like, hey, you don't have to draft a good quarterback anymore. You just need to get a better one.
A lot of people are saying to us,
Yeah.
Patriots and Colts, you guys haven't played anybody. And Connor, you were the one who said, yeah, we sucked. We got a shitty schedule. And I was like, yeah, We did. We earned this.
It just goes
We
back-
earned this game. What are you coming after us for? We earned this thing, and it's any given Sunday. It's the NFL.
Yeah, it is. And like the Browns are the third best defense in the NFL, but the Browns aren't good when Drake May does well. And then the other thing too is like, by the way, this just all goes back to nobody knows ball on the internet. Like there's a reason coaches don't go on the internet because no. Especially
some
football.
Some people.
Sure.
Yeah,
No,
sure.
I'm sure you could find them, but like that's the benefit that the Steelers will never get. You know, it's always focused on how the draft picks in the middle, but like the other thing is that schedule because the AFC North is going to be hard no matter what. Division games in general are going to be hard no matter what. But if you don't finish in that bottom two, your out of conference games are never going to be easy, and then you're going to be screwed no matter what.
And the Cleveland Browns for a long time have said, "Hey, we're going to take that.
Yeah.
We're going to take that bottom spot. Okay,
A long time.
we're going to go ahead and take that bottom spot. We're going to get that bad schedule, and we're going to do bad again, so we can get it again."
If we don't, we'll get rid of the quarterback who was was a rookie of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you know what we want? We want that bad schedule. We don't want prime time.
Yeah, but instead of Baker, they get a $40 million defensive end who just bitches and moans about the offense every game, even though he signed up for it after requesting the trade. That's even better.
No. Even better is you pay $230 million guaranteed for a guy. Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you forgot. Yeah, you forgot that part of the whole thing that they're still living under.
Oh yeah.
And on that
he might
note,
play this year.
I saw him working out.
Oh yeah.
I hope.
I saw him working out.
One game, $200 million. I mean, that is what I call a contract, baby. And we'll get the hats off.
Yeah, David Mulligata's really always doing this one here. You know, Jimmy Sexton's season's currently happening in college ball. Mulligata season, always cooking. Who can I break a record with next? You. Don't show up. Don't even think about it.
Come here, Michael.
Come here. Come here, Michael.
Yeah.
You talked to Jerry Wynn. What'd you say? No, you didn't. Connor's got the last BS or no BS with BS.
Yeah, let's move on from the AFC North, Bruce. The AFC South and NFC South division races are over.
Oh, I think that's total bullshit.
What?
Whoa.
No.
Seven-
Guy was just on the show.
7-1, 6-2, but the teams behind them, they got to play twice. They still got to play twice. That part of it's a lot of football, and the teams behind them are playing pretty good football. So I think they're going to do it. I think they'll win it, but I think they got a lot of football ahead of them. The Bucs need to get healthy. The Colts need to stay healthy.
Yeah, so the Jags, obviously, in second in the AFC South. Colts got Jags twice. Bruce told me that this morning. I figured we'd already played Liam team. We have not, okay? I wish we would have got them a little bit earlier. I don't know what they're going to be at this stage, but good luck to the Jags. We got to play them twice, so obviously that's a 2 that they could pick up on us and 2 in the right column. And then for the Buccaneers, who they have coming after them?
They got the Panthers twice, so who is in second place. And of the 2, I think both teams will end up winning the
Don't
South.
forget the Texans. They're starting to play a little bit better.
They certainly are.
That defense for sure.
Yeah, Houston Texans, C.J. Stroud, maybe he's back. Maybe they're not ass, okay? People aren't talking about them at all, okay? They just beat the Niners. Yeah, it was with Mac Jones. Did you see the time of possession? What was the time of possession for that Texans
I
game?
believe it was 24-6 in the first half, if I remember it correctly.
Think about that, B.A. 20, I think it was like a record.
Yeah, since it was the most time of possession in the first half, I want to say since 2009.
The Texans possessed the ball for 24 minutes and 31 seconds in the first half versus 49ers. That's the most time of possession since 2009 when the Jets had 24 or 50 time of possession versus the Bengals in Week 17. Good pull, Tone. That's a very good pull. That's like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
good pull.
and that's the big worry with the Niners is like, sure, Mac Jones and stuff, but their defense without Bosa and Fred Warner just isn't the 49ers defense we're used to anymore.
Yeah, but on that note, Houston Texans offense might have had a wake-up game.
Yeah.
You know, this might have been an entire situation. And anytime you're dominating that much, your defense is also crushing. Mac Jones and the boys, quick 3 and outs. Can't be happening, but maybe the Texans are back. All right, that was BS or no BS for BA. And we actually have BA game ball. BA, why don't we start with the AFC, your first game ball coming out of Week 8 of the NFL season.
My first one is Aaron Glenn. Congratulations to your first win. We've been close a couple of times, and it was a 23-7 in the fourth quarter. They outscored the Bengals and ruined my prediction that the Bengals would be in first place this week.
Yeah, you were obviously hot on the Bengals, and obviously we all appreciate Joe Flacco. That game was outrageous to watch. And then the Jets come back. Obviously, Breece Hall throws that thing to Mason Taylor. I believe he mosses in the back. They get a win, especially apropos with Nick Mangold and the entire storyline there about the Jets and how all the Jets Nation and football society was feeling on that particular day. Aaron Glenn gets his first win. Always remember it? Is that one of those things like you always talk about? You always remember your first, but for real, he will actually, right?
He'll always remember that that one, and I'm sure the guys gave him the game ball in the locker room, and you paint that one and you put it in a very special place.
Yeah, because it's been not easy. Okay, it
No.
has been not easy to get to this point, but to go back to Detroit, Foxy, what were you guys the first year that Dan Campbell was your head coach?
We started out 0-10, and year one ended 3-13-1, and then in year two they started out 1-6, and everyone wanted Dan Campbell out of there. It was a disaster to start that thing. And then after that 1-6 start, he got us to 9-8, almost made the playoffs, and then it's been history ever since.
And they beat the Green Bay Packers the last game of the year to knock the Green Bay Packers out of the playoffs in that particular year. And then since then, it's been number 1 seed Detroit Lions and
Exactly.
all that.
That was Aaron's last game as a Packer.
Yeah, but that first year, you guys were 0-10. He
was bad.
cried right after the first win.
Yeah,
He cried after the first win. And I remember a lot of us going, can't be crying. You just won one game. And then what he was saying through his tears were like, these guys, man, are working hard. Everything's good, and then we just can't win, and then we finally get rewarded, basically, is how he feels. I wonder if Aaron Glenn feels that way as well. I wonder if that's kind of what
I think so, because they were real close a couple weeks. You know, and then you finally get over the hump. Great halfback pass call. Breece Hall pulls it down, throws it back, touchdown, they win the game. So, great way to win.
Yeah, good for Aaron Glenn getting a dub.
Yeah.
Hey, he gets a BA game ball.
That's right.
And for the NFC, the BA game ball of the week goes to
Anthony Nelson.
Congratulations, Tony.
4 tackles, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and a pick 6. 4th player in NFL history to ever have that stat line.
Wow. AJ, I watched your face as this name was unveiled. Same reaction as all of us. Don't think we all fully understood exactly who Tony Nelson was. But then BA starts reading off the stats, and he goes, if I was to read these stats and not say anybody's name, what would you say? You'd say game ball, right? Yeah, this guy went absolutely ham against this New Orleans Saints team. And his stat line, to BA's point, has only happened a few times in the history.
Yeah, I knew start to finish because that forced fumble came on the first drive for the Saints. Bruce, is this the greatest backup come into game performance ever as well? Or?
Hashtag
Stat that.
Anytime you put in the history of next to your name, it's special. And this is only the 4th player in history of the NFL to ever do this.
Yeah.
And hats off to Nelly, man. He's been a good player. But Hassan Reddick goes down. It's time for somebody to step up big in a big division game. Nelly did it.
Yeah, shout out to Nelly, dude.
He was prepared.
Yeah, he was. He was ready. We knew he was.